Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room, and I'm going to get straight to the sewing because we have a lot to cover. Okay, I finished up Simplicity 1717. I had already made a skirt. I'm wearing it right now. Took it on vacation with me, and I did this one with the patch pockets that are on the front of the skirt as it's shown. The other one I made while I was gone, but I needed to bring it home and finish the insides because my mom doesn't have a serger. So I went ahead and did that, and it turned out so cute. I'm really pleased. I'm pleased with both of these because I think this is probably my new favorite skirt pattern. It's an amazing fit, and it is from 2012. You can do it in, I think in a petite, an average, and a curvy size, and that size is different in the curve of the waist. This does call for these patch pockets, and in the blue skirt I put side seam pockets. It's got a couple of lengths that you can do it in, and also one of them has a little, like a little tie belt that you can put on the yoke, which would be cute. Maybe I'll do that next, but those side seam pockets, I added them. I have a pocket template. I add pockets to everything. So this pattern doesn't have them inside, but if you were to add those pockets, it might do you more favors if you were slim. Average, and if you were curvy, probably not, because it would add bulk to this area right here. But you can always do the patch pockets, and they are so cute. It makes it a very casual, almost like a denim skirt. So this pattern has a lot of potential. You could do a lot with it. You could make a long flowy skirt out of like a challis, or you could make a short little skirt out of denim. So this pink that I used is a home deck fabric, and actually the blue, yeah, I can't remember if it was a shower curtain or if it was just curtains, but found fabrics. 2 successes. I also finished up my pants from Simplicity 8848. This is a dress, a top, and a pair of cropped pants. I don't like ankle length pants. I think they just don't fit me. I mean, they don't suit my figure because I'm short-waisted, and it just doesn't work. So I finished these, and I'm kind of on the fence about how I feel about them. I did make a matching hat from the Orange Sunshine Free bucket hat, and it makes a cute outfit, but I don't know. I just don't seem to have very much luck with the waistband being flat in the front and then gathered around the edges. If the waistband doesn't come any further than right here in the very front and hit you about, where like on a top princess seams would hit you, and then continue around the back as elastic. Maybe from the side seam back elastic I'd be okay with, but I don't know. These are a classic fit pant, and that's fine. It's just I'm not used to that silhouette on me, and I don't know about the length. I'm leaving the length. I'm not doing anything to it. And the other thing is with this, well, I adapted the pockets to make a slash pocket in the front instead of side seam pockets, which are, hidden in the side seam. And what I kind of wish I had done is more of a jeans pocket, which is curved. Well, it would be curved like that, rather than a slanted pocket. And I didn't have enough fabric to do the jeans cut. That slanted pocket, I knew this was probably gonna happen, honestly. But I don't know, it's that chinos pocket. It never looks good on me. And I think it's because my waist is big, and there is not a lot of difference in inches between my waist and my hips. So anyway, you'll have to let me know what you think from these photos, but yeah, turned out okay. It's kind of a cute clam digger kind of look, I don't know, with the hat. It works. I would probably wear it. I will wear it, but Yeah. Okay, so those were 2 things I finished. I have been working on New Look 6894. This is a little vest, and I've torn it all apart, and I'm still working on the fit. So I'll leave it at that because, you know, when I came in here recently, I think it was after I finished both of those things, I took a look around, and I have a stack of things that are cut out. And I thought, no, I don't want to do any of that. Total mood sewer. That's what mood sewing is. You walk in and you're not in the mood for any of that. But anyway, so I decided, well, I'll just pull out some things to cut out. Well, here is the thing about a thrifted pattern, and you may run into if you thrift patterns, you will run into this eventually, or maybe at some point. I thrift a lot of patterns, and I had thrifted Simplicity 2174. This is from 2011. Very cute dress. Little bit of a different take for me on a summer dress, simply because it's got a waistline seam, and I do a lot of shift dresses in the summer. And so this was a little bit different, and I thought, oh, you know, I've got this beautiful cotton that I got at my local quilt shop. It's gorgeous. Really, it's gorgeous. And I thought, ooh, that would be nice for this. Well, I went to get it out of the envelope, and I go to cut it apart. Most of it is uncut, and it is, again, an amazing fit pattern. I'm having really good luck with these. And it's got 4 bust cup sizes. So all ready to cut, and I find all the pieces except 2, and they were the back bodice. And I thought, what happened? Where are they? It's a thrifted pattern. Someone has already used it, and so they probably just didn't put it back in the envelope. I was so disappointed because I was so looking forward to making this. So I decided, well, forget it. I'll just go and look through my pattern catalog, which is a binder with all my envelopes in it. And I thought, well, I'll just find something else. So I did. As I'm going, I pulled out this, which is Simplicity 1537, another amazing fit pattern. Same thing, multiple bust sizes. They point out a lot of the features of the dress that are so cute. This does not have the pockets that this has. So when I saw this, now the waist is dropped just slightly. That's an easy fix. I can always shorten the waist. And I thought, I bet this bodice would fit this dress. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna borrow the back bodice piece of this and substitute it in for this one. To be honest, I could just go ahead and substitute the entire bodice of this one and put this skirt on, but I'm not gonna do that because I really like the sweetheart neckline on this, so I'm just gonna do that. So, saved by the skin of my teeth so that I can make this gorgeous dress. It's gonna be so pretty. And then I did find some fabric and a pattern that was intact, probably because I bought it a while ago. This is McCall 7538. It was new in 2017, and I do remember seeing this from Lindsay at Inside the Hem. She did this probably in 2017, but it's a knit dress, and I'm gonna do the sleeveless version. And I thought this really does need some kind of a stripe, whether it's a traditional stripe or like a watercolor or just a pattern that gives you the idea of a stripe, some kind of thing like that. So I found this in my stash, and actually this is really nice fabric, and I don't know where I found it when I bought it. And I don't, you know, this is common with me, I don't know, because I don't often buy things at fabric stores. When I do, then I remember, but this I don't remember. But this is just it feels like a poly cotton knit. It does not feel like all polyester. It feels like poly cotton or maybe poly rayon. I don't know. But it's just a navy stripe. I mean, really, there is nothing more to it than that. And I think that's going to work out really well for this. So I cut that out and I felt much better. And, oh wait, I didn't toss that, did I? Then I've been working on Simplicity 7086. This is the cutest little top. It was new in 2000, I think 2000. And I am making the sleeveless version, which is View C. This has a little collar, buttons up the front, and I'm making it out of this adorable fabric that I do remember this one. I found it at the Scrap Exchange on my 2 trips ago, I think. So I'll show you the back because then you get a sense of the print, but it's just sailboats. It's very cute. I've got the collar on. I just put the facing in. I need to understitch one side of the facing, finish off the collar, and finish the armholes, which I think is going to be a breeze because I think you do that with bias tape, and put the buttons on, buttonholes, and there you go. So that hopefully will be done later tonight. Okay, that's all sewing, I guess. Yeah, I think it is. Life. Let's move on to life. Well, I did a thing. Yes, I did. And I will tell you about it later. It really does need its own video, so you should get that later this weekend, hopefully. I do also want to show you this. I had lunch twice this past week with Michelle from Michelle Sews Again. I always do this. I am always at a loss for words when I want to tell you how incredibly wonderful someone is. She is just such a great friend. She went with me when I had to make a big decision about a lot of money and a big thing, and she laughs. She will tell you, I think she was very helpful, but she will tell you she was no help at all because she just said, oh, just do it, just go for it. But she really was very helpful, and she did that. And then I went with her to get some fabric at Joann's, and we had to go to Michael's to get paint. She always has these incredible ideas. And so we were coming home from having lunch there, and she gave me this, and she made me cry. I mean, I didn't cry when I was sitting there with her or standing there, but I'm still speechless. This is a woman who hasn't known me very long, but she knew that about me. She knew that that's an integral part of my life. And okay, mwah, Michelle, you know I love you so much. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to cry. Okay, more life. Holy moly, it's hot. It is, I love summer, but I have to tell you that I told my family that this past week, when it gets this hot in Florida and probably in Arizona, places like this, what we do is we go inside and we stay in the AC, and we hope that the power doesn't go out, because if it does, we're in trouble. But that's what we do. And we do this from about mid to late June, early July, until probably the end of August. And we do this just like I used to do it when I lived up north. In maybe mid to late December until about the 1st of March, you go inside because it's too cold. See, it's the same thing. It's just flipped. And that's hard for like my family to understand because we're all Yankees. We're all from up north. So yeah, once I kind of got that straight in my head, I thought, I do love summer. It's so hot. It's the real feel that will get you. So anyway, that's life. Okay, let me move on to comments. I didn't do these last week, and so I'm trying to play catch up slightly. So you may hear some from a couple of weeks ago. Okay, regarding me buying a new machine, Mary Lusk said, please get a new machine. You sew all the time and it is hard work with the new machines, making sewing easier, and you, my friend, deserve it. That's a hard one for me. My mother this morning said, you deserve it. And I said, well, if your mom says it, then it must be true. I think we as women have have a tendency to feel like we don't deserve that. We just want it. And it's such a luxury. And we think, I don't deserve it, but I want it. And you know, I don't know, that's just still a hard concept. Several people have said that to me. You deserve it. And I know I'm in here every day. I know I sew every day. I know I've been sewing every day. But that phrase, you deserve it, it's still hard for me. So I'm working on it. Thank you, Mary, though. Penny Hansen, I love Penny. She lives in Liverpool. She says, regarding a new sewing machine, I'd say go for it. Treat yourself. You get so much use out of your machines. It's more than justified. Don't even think twice. Good advice. Thank you, Penny. Mary Rames says, I'm a Pfaff lover too since my first machine back in 1982. Me too. I think mine might have been right around then. I had a Pfaff 262, which is a very old mechanical machine made back in the 60s. I loved that machine. I made my bridesmaids dresses on that machine. Okay. She says, I'm spoiled rotten, currently using my 20+ year old Pfaff Creative 7510 nearly every day. She's starting to show her age, but yet continues to be a workhorse. Stick with Pfaff and buy yourself a new machine. I wish I could buy a Creative Icon too, but the money situation isn't right now. Whatever Pfaff you end up will be a wonderful gift to yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary, because yeah, I didn't realize that I have been sewing on older machines for a long time, and I've never had a new one from a dealer. So thank you for saying that. Lynn Shepard said, yee! New machine shopping. Yep, I went shopping. Let's move on to the craziest place you ever took your machine. That was last week's question. Got some good answers here, so I pulled out several of these. So Busy Lizzie says, I have to tell you the craziest place that I've ever taken my sewing machine. I had bariatric surgery that went all kinds of wrong, so I was in the hospital for the majority of the time for several years. I got so sick of TV, so I had my sweet hubby pack up my sewing machine and all the stuff I needed. The nurses were astonished. My room was very popular. Oh, can you imagine? Sitting and sewing while you're in the hospital. That was pretty crazy. Yeah. Nancy Helpenstill says, have you ever thought of getting a treadle machine so you could sew outside or when the power is out? I'm inspired every time I watch Bonnie Hunter sewing on her porch or her deck. No electricity needed. How cool is that? That's very cool. And I haven't looked up Bonnie Hunter yet, but I will. And everybody else can too. Deb Cobb. Oh, Deb, I love you. When I first heard crazy, I couldn't think of how that could relate to my machine. But after thinking back, I guess it would be when I took it to a local gym. The owner is a friend and I was giving sewing lessons, and the only time we could get together when she was at the gym. So I set it up in a little room and I taught her to make an apron from cutting it out to finish. It was her second lesson and she did great. Bonus, as I was leaving, a member had seen me and asked the owner if she knew if I did mending for people. I got a few jobs from that day. So, huge benefit to sewing in public and a gym. that's something. Sue Brickett, I think it's Sue Brickett, S. Brickett, says the craziest place I took one of my machines is a barn. A barn. We were having a huge sale in the barn one weekend and I had to be there, so I took a machine and some fabric and a pattern and sewed away while people looked around, mostly at what I was making. I got several customers for alterations out of that weekend, so double win. Once again, yeah, take it to a public place. I'm telling you what, if you do alterations or you make stuff for people or anything, good publicity. Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews says, I've never taken my sewing machines anywhere except a guild sewing day, but one of her machines might be taking a boat ride to the island house very soon. I think that's a great idea. The island house for her, she lives in Montreal, so it's in Canada, and I would think that the issue there would be that you want to sew at home, but you want to do other things at the island. So I just think, I'm telling you what, if I had a machine that I could transport like my featherweight, I would absolutely take it to the island house. Grand Jan said, this is not crazy, but I take my sewing machine on our family, 3 generations, our family vacation every year. My granddaughter and I talk in advance about a project she would like to do, and then we create during the vacation. Makes my heart happy. I think that is wonderful. When you don't see grandchildren very often, like if they don't live close, why not take advantage of a situation like that, and spend some time, quality time doing something like that, especially if she is into it and wants to learn. Cindy says, I sew out back. We have an electrical outlet outside. I need to use an extension cord, but I get to sit out there and enjoy the work we have put into our yard and do what I like to do. Summer is not my favorite time. Gosh, I wonder why. The heat is not my friend, but at least this gets me out once in a while. Well, I'm sure you get out a lot if you have a fantastic garden like Kristen at the Dahlia Society. Man, I love watching her just to see her incredible yard. It's like a park. But good for you. Good for you for getting outside and just doing it out there. With regard to zhuzhing up the neighborhood, I thought this was hilarious. Susie Sunshine says, I'm making a Cinderella gown for my adult daughter, and I have yards and yards of sparkle tulle to gather. The sparkles fall off this tulle when handling and then show up all over the place for months. So one beautiful summer morning, I plan to take my machine out on the balcony, spread a large sheet, and try not to sparkleize the neighborhood. Well, good luck with that. I bought some sparkle tulle also, and it gets everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, I've got some of it like laying here on my table, and I think it's going to take a long time for it to go away, but that's okay. So that should be fun. I'll be interested to hear if you have any neighbors that go, what is all this glitter in my yard or on my porch or anything? Okay, this week's question. What is your stance on hand sewing? I wrote this question because I hate to say it. Do I really hate to say it? I don't know. Maybe I don't hate to say it, but hand sewing for me is right down there with chiffon, because we all know chiffon is made in hell. It's manufactured there and then imported. And no, I hate that stuff with the passion of 1,000 suns. And hand sewing is right there. I don't do it very often. I never do it if I can avoid it. If I can't avoid it, or if I think, all right, I'll just do this one little bit, I end up tearing it out anyway. I have done a couple of dresses where I felt like the hem really needed to be hand sewn. And in one case, it was a Vogue dress, and I felt like the armhole facings needed to be hand sewn down. Yeah, I did the hand sewing then. Yeah, hand sewing in general, not for me. Let me know what you think. Okay, my prayer card is what I'm going to leave you with this week, and it is from Psalm 145:13. It says, the Lord always keeps his promises. Oh man, if I could just go into the promises that God has kept to me and his faithfulness to me, watching the miracles happen in my life, it's just, if you're paying attention, you will see some. It is amazing. So that'll do it for Friday Sews. If you want to see last week's video, check right over here. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.